They're walking into the Lincoln County Courthouse. Hope we don't get arrested again.
Something's on my mind. It's been for quite some time.
My name's Ian Walton.
You know what, I don't remember you want to go to Ian Walton? She's up here in the Sarah. You want to ask her, she can be squared with us. Okay. Two things you need to do with. After you're done talking to Sarah, you got to pop downstairs. Go up towards the door, and then when you're done doing all this, someone's going to pop out and just give you an order. Take that to the deal. Okay. I know it's a lot, but she'll square you away with when you meet me, okay? Mr. Walton, my head, please.
Yeah, I'm going to object right off the bat, Your Honor. I believe that according to the Uniform Trial Code that the attorneys from the previous case are supposed to vacate the bar before you start the next case. He's not my attorney. I don't want him as my attorney. I've not hired him. I have not consulted him. And I have no intention of doing that, so I don't want him interacting with me or distracting me while I'm trying to
I'll be out of here, Judge. Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Walton, do you have a copy of my charge?
I just received a piece of paper, I believe would be that.
Is your name spelled correctly?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right. The charge is criminal trespass in the second degree, and the allegation is that on about June 11th of this year in Lincoln County, Oregon, you unlawfully knowingly entered or remained in or upon the premises of 225 West Olive Street, specifically the Lincoln County Courthouse, after refusing to comply with the security screening. This is a criminal charge. You are presumed to be innocent. That presumption stays with you at all times while the case is pending. You have the right to remain silent about the allegation. I encourage you to do that. You are entitled to an attorney to help you defend the case. You can hire one or apply for a court-appointed attorney. Nobody has to have an attorney. You can give that right if you wish. But I think were you here this morning when I explained to one man that
I've heard your
trying to be his own lawyer?
I've heard your speech many times, sir.
And does that make sense to you?
It makes, it makes as much sense as everything else that's going on here to me, so I'd answer yes to that question.
By any chance, are you an attorney?
No.
Okay. Did you understand what I said? I've got a right to work on my truck, but I don't know anything about mechanics, and if I work on it, my truck isn't going to work right.
Yeah, but if you can't afford to hire a mechanic and your truck breaks down, you don't have a choice but to fix it. And if you don't fix it, you can't function in society. That's my position here. So.
Well, you do have, if you are unable to afford an attorney, you have the right to apply
for
a court-appointed attorney.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. There's several issues I have.
Let me stick with the attorney issue.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this.
You understand you have the right to apply for a court-appointed attorney.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
Right. And do you want to do that?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I need to inquire, how far did you go to school?
8th grade.
Okay. I'm not asking you to make any incriminating statement at any time whatsoever. I'm just curious, have you ever been through any kind of criminal case before?
I've been through, I believe, 3 malicious prosecutions in this court.
Okay. Have you had an attorney help you on any of those occasions as a defendant in a criminal case?
Well, yeah, of course. I don't understand where the questions are going.
Before you told me you don't want to get a lawyer, part of the decision I've got to make is whether it's a free and voluntary and knowing intelligent decision. If I don't find that, I can't let you go to the right to an attorney. So I'm trying to figure out how much
Okay,
I mean, you've had at least 3 prior cases, and did you have an attorney in each one of them, or only in one case?
I had 2 criminal cases, and I had attorneys in both of those.
And was there something, did you have the same attorney, or did you have a different attorney?
No, I had different attorneys. I had several different attorneys, and that's why I'm not going with a Lincoln County Bar Association member ever again. You know, I was accused of committing a crime against Gary Lovejoy, right? One of the public defenders that was in this court this morning, right? You're aware of that?
You what?
I was accused of committing a crime against Gary Lovejoy,
Yeah.
one of your bar attorneys. You have the case somewhere in your office, 103501, where I was trying to get the arrest from that overturned. It's been sitting on your desk since February. That's why I was in the courthouse that day one of the reasons I was in the courthouse today was to find out what was going on with 103501. The district attorney's office told me it would take 60 days to get that through, and 100 and something days later, I came in here to ask you what was going on with it, and they arrested me for trespassing. So, it is what it is, Your Honor.
So, my question, though, is, you want to try to hire an attorney outside Lincoln County District?
I just told you a few minutes ago I don't have the assets to do that. I'm a disabled person. I'm on Social Security disability. I struggle just to put gas in my car. I can't afford your justice system, unfortunately.
You do have the right to apply for a court-appointed attorney, and obviously I wouldn't appoint Gary Lovejoy to represent you. I don't know who else he's bad, but he was certainly...
Yeah, well, the issue is that her father is the president of the Lincoln County Bar Association, and he was involved in the case.
Who somebody is has nothing to do with what happened.
I understand, but all the attorneys in Lincoln County have a professional relationship with that person, and I think that in the previous case where I was accused of committing a crime against Gary Lovejoy, it caused issues with me finding an attorney to give me representation. They were pulling out saying, I won't represent you because Gary Lovejoy is a friend of mine. So I'm afraid, that...
Mr. Walton, if I were to make arrangements to try to get an attorney from Corvallis to represent you on a court-appointed basis, would that interest you?
If we can do it by telephone, I can't drive to Corvallis every time I need to talk to my attorney.
I'm just saying, I don't know, that would be up to the attorney, but I think it's possible when there are conflicts with local lawyers that an attorney from Corvallis sometimes within represent somebody.
Yeah, I have no problems with the Benton County Bar Association.
Do you want to apply for an attorney then?
No.
Well, how are you going to get an attorney from Corvallis?
Well, once we have discovery and everything, and I enter a plea, I'll make that decision whether I need an attorney to represent me or not. At this point, I'm doing the best I can for what I got. I also have this fellow here as my attorney, Dan Taylor, which is part of that whole debacle.
Yeah, we're going to schedule the next court date for August 17th at 9:30 in court 600. And you say you did understand the right that I explained earlier?
To the best of my ability, yeah.
All right, so
I'm still not certain about what I'm being charged with trespassing in a public building. I'm obviously not going to try this case right now.
But it says what it says. The allegation is you unlawfully and knowingly entered or remained.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but how do you unlawfully enter a public building to take care of court business? Okay.
The question.
Yes, sir, I understand.
I'm just going to tell you what the allegation is. You unlawfully and knowingly entered or remained in or upon the premises at 225 West Olive Street, Newport, or Lincoln County Courthouse, after refusing to comply with security screening Now, I'll just suggest to you, Mr. Walton, the fact that you don't understand how that could be illegal may reveal that you don't thoroughly understand the legal system and what the law is, and that's why you need a lawyer to help you. That's exactly the point. You don't get it. And that's not an excuse for it.
I'm getting the impression you're saying I don't get that I'm guilty here.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't understand how it could be illegal for somebody to do that. And I'm saying, for me, I don't understand anything about computers. I don't understand mechanics. I don't understand medicine. I don't understand chemistry. It doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just means I don't know what that stuff, I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, the fact you don't understand about the charge is a hint that you need to understand how it could be illegal. So I'm just saying there may be some inkling of why you might need a lawyer to help you with the case. So August 17th, 9:30 is 3:30. The next court date will be a copy of the order in the hall on the 2nd. And if you decide at any point along the way you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney and get one from the Corrales area, contact the court in writing so I can get that done. Okay?
Sounds good to me, sir.
That'll be it for today's minutes.
I have one other issue I'd like to bring up, if I may.
Go ahead.
We're still on record. I'm on a conditional release, conditional release from the jail, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask you to remove me from under the conditions imposed on me by this. Several of them violate my constitutional rights.
Well,
Specifically,
I'm not going to relieve you from those obligations. Those conditions apply to every person who's gotten released from a criminal case.
Okay, well, I need to clarify. It says, I agree not to have any contact with persons alleged to be victims in this case. Who's the victim? Who's the victim?
There's no person. So
no victims?
There's no person who's alleged to be the victim in this case. So that doesn't apply to you.
So who's the victim?
It's a standard form. You understand? That form is used if there's a theft or install or vandalism. So it's a standard condition. If there isn't a person who's an alleged victim in your case, so that provision doesn't apply to you.
Okay. Now the one that I agree not to depart the state without permission of the court. I believe in the Constitution of the United States I have the right to free exercise of travel, to free movement.
When a criminal case is pending, you don't have that right.
I don't.
No.
I'm not in custody, am I?
You are not. You're on release from custody on certain conditions, one of which is you don't do Oregon while the case is pending.
Well, I feel that it infringes on my constitutional right to travel. I had plans to travel to California and possibly Washington this summer. I'm not going to be able to do that now.
Are you going to do that before August 17th?
I may. It's a one-day drive to Washington. It's a one-day drive to California. Can you at least release me from that provision? And obviously, I'm not going to be contacting my attorney every week because I don't have an attorney.
Forward, what is the position?
Your Honor, the state will defer to the court. The state doesn't have any particular objection.
I think it would be easier if you just nullify the whole agreement, Your Honor. I've never missed a court date in my life.
Okay. Would you be okay to travel to Washington and California while the case is pending?
Okay. You done here?